with Edie Tarbox and Victoria Corderi. Bill Evans with the exclusive Accuweather forecast and the Eyewitness News team. Now, Eyewitness News.
Good afternoon, I'm Edie Tarbox.
And I'm Victoria Corderi. The terrifying tale of a suspected serial killer continues to unfold. Today, Joel Rifkin, the man police say confessed to killing 17 prostitutes over the past few years, is in court. Now, police stumbled onto this case accidentally, and now it may involve murders in 3 states. Sarah Wallace is covering the story for us, and she is live at the courthouse in Hempstead. Sarah.
Well, 34-year-old Joel Rifkin was arraigned here in district court on only 1 charge of murder. The case of a still unidentified woman whose body was found yesterday, but that could likely change. Rifkin has reportedly told police, given them detailed information, including names and dates, that indeed suggest he may be the killer of at least 16 other women. As he was let out of police headquarters in Mineola this morning, Joel Rifkin covered his head with a hood. But police say he made no effort to hide his latest murder. In fact, investigators believe Rifkin wanted to get caught. Early yesterday morning, he crashed his truck into a light pole after running a stop sign and leading 2 troopers on a 4-mile chase along the Southern State Parkway. Inside the pickup, troopers found the badly decomposed body of a woman believed to be a Manhattan prostitute Rifkin reportedly picked up last Thursday and then strangled. Investigators claim Rifkin then began talking about a 2 to 3 year crime spree and 16 other prostitutes he said he would pick up in Manhattan, usually near the Williamsburg Bridge. He said he would then kill them and dump their bodies in different locations.
The area that we're going to cover is in Long Island, New York City, and upstate New York presently.
When you say upstate, can you bring that down?
Well, this is in somewhat the Somers area.
About 11 last night, police searched Rifkin's house in East Meadow, including a freezer in the garage. They removed a chainsaw and took samples from material in a red wheelbarrow. Today, Rifkin's elderly mother and younger sister, with whom he lived, arrived at court to show their support. They said nothing, but Rifkin's attorney replied this way when asked if his client is indeed a serial killer.
Maybe he means that it's against law to kill cornflakes. I don't know what a serial killer is.
Rifkin's attorney did not, by the way, request bail for his client, who was scheduled to be back here in court on July 6th. Celeste Ford is live right now at Rifkin's East Meadow house with more on this tale of terror. Celeste?
Sarah, the Rifkin home is located here on Garden Street. Last night and overnight, the police investigation focused on the garage, also Rifkin's landscaping equipment here on the driveway. There has been no police activity here this morning, and Rifkin's sister and elderly mother have left the house. Neighbors still can't believe they've been living next door to a confessed serial killer. The flower gardens at his mother's home are lush. The yard is neatly manicured. This, say neighbors, was Joel Rifkin's hobby. At 34, he was an unemployed landscaper who also enjoyed tinkering with his 2 trucks. Rifkin is described as a loner, but apparently no one suspected a dark, murderous side.
He's always been a very gentle, a very pleasant young man. And it's just very, very hard to comprehend that this is the sort of thing that might have happened.
Rifkin and his sister were reportedly adopted by the civic-minded Jean and Ben Rifkin. The father was a structural engineer, and prior to his death 6 years ago, he was the vice president of the school board and chairman of the East Meadow Library Committee. Today, a wing of the library is named after him. His son worked here during high school.
He was a normal, quiet within reason, but you know, he could talk. He was okay. There was nothing to make you suspect anything would happen later in life.
According to his high school yearbook, Rifkin was a member of the debating team, the track team, and the photography club. He studied agriculture at the State University of New York at Farmingdale and then dropped out. He never married and was not known to date.
I'm in shock. I'm in absolute shock. If you would have told me some of the other people from high school, I might have said maybe, but I just can't believe it was Joel Rifkin. I'm in shock.
According to one report, a neighbor remembered what Rifkin said at his father's funeral. He did not give me life, but he gave me love. Those are touching words from a man police say killed at least 17 women. We're live in East Meadow. I'm Celeste Ford, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
And today on Eyewitness News at 5, we will continue to follow this developing story. And we'll take a look at a serial killer's psyche. What makes someone want to kill and kill again?
More court action today. One of the men suspected in the alleged terrorist plot to blow up New York City targets is set to be in court today. Amir Abedgam will face a judge at his arraignment in federal court. He's one of the 8 men arrested last Thursday at a Queens warehouse where federal agents found the suspects allegedly making a bomb. Fear of a terrorist attack on the Holland Tunnel is scaring off some tunnel workers. New York Newsday reports internal memos show the workers responsible for helping motorists whose cars stall or wreck in the tunnel are afraid to. In fact, internal reports from last Thursday allegedly show workers refused to staff their posts inside the tunnel after a bomb threat was called in.
Well, the threat of violence always follows a cop on the beat, and 2 New York City police officers were wounded today in a gunfight. The police officers, 34-year-old James Teague and 30-year-old Patrick Brennan, are now in stable condition after being treated at St. Luke's Hospital. One suspect in that shooting was shot dead. The incident happened at East 125th and Madison early this morning. No word yet on what sparked the incident. Police raided 3 houses in Queens and freed dozens of Asian immigrants held captive in squalid conditions. 4 people are now under arrest. 31 illegal immigrants were found inside. The raids are part of an effort to curb the smuggling of illegal Chinese aliens. Some gangs hold the aliens in safe houses until the cost of the voyage is paid for. And another arrest may hold the key to what authorities describe as the most technologically sophisticated bank scam in the country. Alan Pace was arrested on Friday in Hartford and accused of engineering the scheme to steal money through a bogus automated teller machine. The phony ATM copied secret codes from cards of customers and enabled the thieves to withdraw $100,000 from accounts across the country.
Money is the focus for a boxer. Bribery charges could deal heavyweight fighter Ray Mercer a knockout punch. He allegedly offered $100,000 to get an opponent to throw a fight. Doug Johnson is live in Lower Manhattan with the latest. Doug?
Well, on February the 6th, heavyweight contender and Olympic gold medalist Ray Mercer fought against Jesse Ferguson in Madison Square Garden. Now, if Mercer won, he had a crack at fighting Riddick Bowe for a purse of between $1.5 and $2.5 million. Mercer lost, big time. However, Manhattan District Attorney Robert Morgenthau says that as he was losing, Mercer was offering his opponent a $100,000 bribe to throw the fight.
The indictment charges that Mercer, the 1988 heavyweight Olympic gold medalist, offered to bribe Jesse Ferguson throughout their 10-round bout. Ferguson refused the bribe and won the fight.
The state athletic commissioner heard rumors of the bribe offer and went to the state police.
I had heard again from referee Wayne Kelly that he had heard from somebody that talking that he had seen in the ring may have been more than just talking. It was bribe offers. And I said, did you pick anything out? And then I sat down with Wayne and I said, you know something, we got to do something about this.
Morgenthau says enhancement of the audio when the fight was taped for TV revealed the bribe offer. Morgenthau says Mercer broke the law and he also broke a cardinal rule.
This indictment charges that the defendant, a professional boxer, has violated the first rule of a true sportsman, to play fair.
There are those who say they've heard the audio on those tapes and they couldn't hear this bribe offer. However, the DA says it's enhanced to a degree you can. Ferguson is cooperating. We're live in Lower Manhattan. Doug Johnson, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Some heavyweight laws are putting state legislators in Albany at odds. Rent control and rent stabilization laws expire at midnight tomorrow. And it's down to the wire as the legislature is deadlocked over what types of apartments should be covered by the laws. Democrats want current laws extended, but Republicans want to exempt the rich from access to rent control apartments. And another regulation may stand in the way of salvation for the New York Post. A published report says the Post will cease publication soon if the Federal Communications Commission does not waive its rule barring ownership of a newspaper and television station in the same city. Rupert Murdoch, who owns Channel 5, has been operating the New York Post under a temporary waiver of that FCC rule.
New Jersey Transit has been operating with some delays, and you can expect the same delays you had this morning to continue for the next few days. Rail officials say power station problems in Philadelphia are causing backups during peak travel hours. This morning, there were half-hour delays on the Northeast Corridor between Trenton and New York and between Matawan and New York. There were also 10-minute delays on Amtrak Northeast Corridor service. The delays will last several more days.
Well, there's no delaying America's attempt to beef up security in the Persian Gulf.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News, U.S. forces are making sure they keep American interests safe while Iraq tries to stir up anti-American feelings.
Plus, when kids go swimming, they like to go barefoot, but there's a reason why they should not. We'll explain.
And later, we know Donald and Marla are expecting a baby, but now we can tell you something else about the bundle of joy that's on the way.
Some roach baits just seem to scream.
Roach bait, roach bait! They're not a pretty sight.
But new Raid roach baits don't look like ordinary baits, so you can put them anywhere. And Raid baits kill up to 3 months. Back in the nest.
That was a roach bait?
Uh-oh.
Raid! Roach bait? What roach bait?
New Raid roach baits. Only you know they kill bugs dead. From SC Johnson Wax.
Just when you think you've seen it all, they do even more.
It's summer savings time at ShopRite.
My money just goes farther here.
The proof is in the prices. Top round for London broil, half price, $1.99 a pound. Washington State Bing cherries, 99 cents a pound. Sprite or Coke, just 79 cents with your Price Plus Club card, and pick up your Action Park discount tickets at ShopRite.
Thanks, ShopRite.
It's going to be a great summer.
We save you money.
With great values.
ShopRite does it right.
Hey, open up! I want that white thing.
New Whitewater Zest.
Zestfully clean.
Yo, Dad!
The deodorant bar that rinses cleaner so your skin feels smoother.
I know what you want.
Zestfully clean.
Soap leaves a film you can feel on your skin, but Zest rinses cleaner than soap, so your skin feels smoother than soap.
I got the white thing.
New Whitewater Zest.
You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
Smooth.
This mom's sick of being blamed for all their problems.
They have to take charge of their own life. I didn't feel any love from you growing up at all. I mean, I was terrified of you.
I'd rather die than have them die. I mean, that's the way I feel about each one of them.
I feel that she was very controlling.
My whole life was for my children.
I don't think my mother sees things as they really are. I don't think she ever has. It's just obvious.
Who do you think's to blame on the next Oprah?
Today at 4, followed by Eyewitness News right here on Channel 7.
Tension increasing in the Persian Gulf. Published reports indicate Saddam Hussein personally ordered the assassination attempt on former President George Bush during his visit to Kuwait in April. The reports quote senior Washington officials as saying the evidence is pointing to Saddam. That is circumstantial evidence, but they call that evidence also compelling. With Iraq threatening to retaliate for the weekend missile attack, the USS Roosevelt is on its way to the Persian Gulf. The powerful aircraft carrier moved through the Suez Canal early today. And while the Navy flexes its muscles, Iraq is trying to show its citizens that it can do the same. ABC's Mike Lee has details.
These pictures on Baghdad television last night were the symbolic response to the cruise missile raid. The Iraqis were implying they have the military strength and the ability to carry out reprisals, yet there was no specific threat of retaliation. Also, Saddam himself did not appear on television, did not make a speech. Instead, the Iraqis seem to be emphasizing the worldwide reaction to the raid, especially those reactions which are critical of the United States. Clinton is making a mistake, following in the footsteps of George Bush, said one Iraqi newspaper this morning. At the scene of the rubble this morning, where some of the missiles hit a civilian area, the Iraqis were maintaining a low profile. There were no demonstrations. Also, the government is refusing to reveal any details of how much damage might have been done to the intelligence headquarters. No pictures have been allowed of that. At the Baghdad hotel, which was hit by a cruise missile last January, the Iraqis have a new picture of George Bush. It is used as a tiled doormat. Some Iraqis made a point of using it this morning. Now they may have to make a new doormat for Bill Clinton. Mike Lee, ABC News, Baghdad.
Iraqi troops had a case of the jitters overnight, apparently. They fired anti-aircraft guns into the sky over Baghdad, reportedly hitting one of their own planes by mistake.
Indeed, Iraq's government newspaper says President Clinton ordered the attack to take away attention from his own domestic problems. But the president was not focusing on Iraq this morning. He did not mention the tension as he spoke to a National Association of Small Business Owners. The president instead pitched his deficit reduction program and health reform plan.
Our forecast a little less than presidential.
Up next on Eyewitness News, we'll take a look at the cloudy skies outdoors and we'll find out how hard we're going to get hit by storms. The exclusive Accuweather forecast is next.
The cockroach. Once it gets rolling, seems nothing breeds as fast. 40 in 3 weeks, thousands in just 3 months. That's why you need Raid Max. Raid Max roach spray not only kills tough roaches on contact, it kills their next generation as well, killing new roaches for up to 4 months, guaranteed. So stop roaches before they really get rolling with Raid Max roach spray. Because roaches breed like roaches, but nothing keeps killing like Max. From S.C. Johnson Wax.
Love to say no, no, no. Love to say no, no, no.
During the National Minivan Sale, save up to $2,600 on Dodge Caravan, including a gold package at no extra charge.
No, no.
Gold wheels, gold striping, 15-inch tires, and more. And make no monthly payments till October.
Love to say no, no. Love to say no.
Save up to $2,600 because we love to save.
No, no, no.
Sale ends soon.
Introducing Friendly's new Chicken Oriental Salad. The new Chef's Salad. And the new Seafood Salad. Each of which comes with a free yogurt or watermelon roll sundae. A friendly reminder that your salad days are just beginning.
Jenny thought it was so funny watching her dad do homework.
The brake specialists at Sears are driven to be the best, so Ray Lyle studied hard and earned his Automotive Service Excellence certification.
It was like being back in school.
If you want a tested, proven professional, look for this badge. And no one has more ASE certifications than Sears. Maybe that's why it's so tough to find a good mechanic anywhere else. Sears Tire and Auto Center. Driven to satisfy.
Hey, if you haven't been watching live lately...
Just look at who you've missed. For the biggest stars in the world.
Yeah, stick with us.
Tomorrow at 9.
Right here on Channel 7.
Well, we know what goes up must come down, but for the crew of the Space Shuttle Endeavour, it will be one more day before they can come back to Earth. The scheduled landing of the shuttle has been postponed until tomorrow morning because of bad weather at Cape Canaveral. The crew also had some trouble with doors used to dispel heat from the shuttle, but they were able to fix them manually. They're also doing Edie's favorite experiment, right? Recycling perspiration or something?
Yeah, recycling perspiration into drinking water. No, that's what they're supposed to be trying to do.
I'm not going to touch that.
It's seriously, yeah.
It gives Evian a whole new feel. So speaking of bad weather, actually.
Well, we're going to have pretty decent weather today. Temperatures were definitely above normal yesterday. We're going to be close to that today and right on the money tomorrow. Windy conditions are being felt all over the area. Here's a look at Hoboken. A little windy, as you can take a look at that tree back there in the background. Winds have been blowing at about 10 to 15 miles per hour for much of the day, as we did have a cold front that swept through our area. It's hanging just south of the city, and it'll stall out just off the coast. Humidity 54%, temperature now 76 degrees, and our barometric pressure, it's beginning to rise throughout the area as that high pressure moves closer and closer into our area. There it is, winds out of the northeast at 12. They'll turn to a northwesterly direction later on tonight. Record high temperature for this day, 101 degrees. The cold front, as I promised you, we can take a look at it. It's on the map just to the south and east of New York City. It'll stall out just off the coast later on this evening. It'll stay close enough in our vicinity, though, to keep the clouds in our area for much of the day and provide even a chance of a scattered shower or two by the afternoon with the humidity and the heating of the day. Lots of clouds, they have been funneling northeastward. Precipitation, though, has mainly been down toward the south of our area. Earlier this morning, it was over Jersey, but that moved out to sea. And right now, we're picking some up over south central portions of Pennsylvania and portions of Maryland as well. But as I said, this will stay south and east of our area with only a stray shower expected for the tri-state. The bulk of the precipitation on the national scene has been throughout the southeast. 2 more days of thunderstorms for this vicinity, and more rain is expected from the Ohio Valley into portions of southern and central Appalachians. But our next system, it is now off to the west. It's spinning out of the Intermountain West. It'll provide more problems for the nation's heartland as they're already looking at flooding conditions, so more rain is expected on top of this. For today, expect high pressure to begin building in, at least for portions of western New York. Will top out at 88 degrees. We may see a passing shower, and by tomorrow, much more sun, will be slightly cooler as high pressure continues to build in with some northwesterly winds. So nice and warm for most of the northeast, hot and humid down south, cool out west. Accuweather forecast for today in detail calls for clouds during the early part of the day, a few showers late, and by tonight is when we can expect a bit more clearing. And then as we top out tomorrow, 84 degrees, partly cloudy, definitely warm. And for the next couple of days, take a look at that. For the 4th of July weekend, 92 degrees Friday, Saturday, 86 back on Sunday once the front passes with only a small chance of a shower. We'll see humidity levels coming back up to by about Thursday. So, you know, can't have it all good.
Thanks, Veronica.
The National Commission on AIDS has ended its work, but before disbanding, it issued a stern report about the spread of that disease. The commission says that an AIDS vaccine is at least 10 years away. It acknowledged the increased funding for AIDS research, but it said millions more are needed. And it is critical of the Clinton administration for what it says are many unfulfilled promises.
Now, parents are always concerned about the health of their children, and during the summer when they're home from school, you have to be especially careful. One thing you want to avoid is allowing kids to walk barefoot. We find out why as we make a house call with Dr. Bob Lanier.
Hot weather and bare feet sort of go together, but there's a reason to keep the shoe habit, especially in small children. The tendons in children's feet are very close to the surface, and a cut from a piece of glass can be a disaster. Then there's the wily wart, a planter's wart, a contagious virus. It's lurking out there right now, looking for you, ready to inflict a lifetime of discomfort on you if it gets a chance to get a foothold. Now, the only known reservoir of the human wart virus is in people, and you get them from walking around barefooted in places where a lot of other people walk around barefooted. That's the swimming pool and the health club and showers and the locker rooms. It's a solid reason for wearing a set of slippers or thongs when you're out. And if there's someone in your family who already has a planter's wart, you ought to make sure they wear shoes at all times. Now, if they don't, you should, because as they walk around on the carpet barefooted, they leave a little virus behind for you. I'm Dr. Bob Lanier.
Well, medicine is telling us something about the baby that Donald Trump and Marla Maples are expecting.
Up next on Eyewitness News, the guessing game is over for Donald and Marla, who now know if they are expecting a boy or a girl.
And what one teen did to make history. Talk about a juggling act. His story is next.
People all over the metropolitan area are discovering that they have a great store just next door, A&P.
A&P is right down the road, so I can get here in a matter of minutes, and I'm always guaranteed of being able to come in and out of A&P very quickly.
It's nice, refreshing, different from all the other stores.
People that work here are wonderful, very friendly, courteous. A great place to shop, the A&P.
The great store just next door, A&P.
Have you shaken up your salad yet? Just one taste of good seasoned zesty herbs and spices and you'll never go back to your old bottle dressing. So try some today and see why everyone's shaking up their salad with Good Seasons. You make it fresh, you make it best.
Remember splashing around with friends? Now your kids can splash and slide on the Goofy Water Slide. Just turn on the cool summer fun.
It's Goofy!
It's even goofy inside. The Goofy Water Slide designed by Mattel, making friends you can believe in.
My finicky daughter never finished a hot dog. She hid them. She gave them to her little brother. She even stuck them in my plants. So why is she finishing a hot dog now? Because now I give her Conn's light and mild hot dogs. Conn's doesn't put a lot of spices and stuff in their hot dogs or corn dogs or anything else they make. They're made simply with quality meat. Now, she won't even give her brother a bite.
Conn's, simply made to taste good.
Players spin the wheel, they pick a letter, they solve a puzzle, they win lots of money, millions of people watch.
L.
2 L's, yep.
And
an O. Care to solve the puzzle?
Be a wheel watcher. Tonight at 7:30.
Right here on Channel 7.
It's America's game.
The class of '93 salute our local valedictorians for their excellence. Join Eyewitness News reporter Steve Hartman for the best of the class '93, Saturday at 7:30 on Channel 7.
That Donald and his girlfriend Marla are reportedly in the pink, and that tops our People in the News today. The Daily News reports Donald Trump and Marla Maples' baby, due in October, is a girl. The News says the couple has already chosen the perfect name, Tiffany. Well, the man with the perfect smile, Tom Cruise, is grinning ear to ear at last night's opening of his new movie, The Firm. Sharon Stone and Gary Busey also made it to the Hollywood premiere. The movie is based on the best-selling John Grisham novel.
And it's time to see what's coming up on Eyewitness News at 5. For that, we go to Greg Hurst, who's in the newsroom. Greg.
And today at 5 o'clock, residents living in fear in a housing development. They say it was built over a toxic dump. Also, Joel Rivkin, the man who says that he is a serial killer. What goes through the mind of a multiple murderer? A psychological profile today at 5. And a common ailment for adults that is also found in children. New techniques for helping kids with cataracts. Dr. Jay Athersberg explains all that and much more when you join us today at 5. Hope to see you then. Now back to the studio.
Thank you, Greg. And finally today, it started as a way to practice his favorite sport, but one young Canadian's training method has propelled him into the Guinness World Book of Records. 15-year-old Volkart Caro juggled a soccer ball on his foot at his school's gymnasium, up and down, up and down, up and down, 18 hours, more than 91,000 times, until he became world champion.
Very tired. At the same time, I feel very proud of myself because I've accomplished something very important for all Canadians and for my family.
The pressure was too much for Caro's father to take. He could not watch, but a gym full of fellow students cheered his entry into the records books. What is he, the world champion soccer ball juggler?
I'm not sure. It takes a lot of work, though, I suppose.
Yeah.
That is the news for now. I'm Edie Tarbox.
And I'm Victoria Corderi. For Veronica Johnson and all of us here at Eyewitness News, make it a great day.
And be sure to join us for Eyewitness News at 5, 6, and 11. See you tomorrow.
Would you like to refinance your first mortgage? Or pay off a high-rate second mortgage? Or maybe purchase a new home? But you've been